Hello my friends and welcome to the 50th class in our writing course. Today my friends, and after we talked about words and we classified them into content words and function words, and we covered all of the four types of the content words: nouns, verbs, adjectives and adverbs. And then we moved to stage 2 and we talked about phrases, and we defined a phrase saying that a phrase could be one word or a group of words that doesn't include a verb with its subject together in the first 40 classes. Today, my friend, in the 50th class, we are going to start talking about clauses. Again, my friends, let's define the word, the phrase, because it's important here today in our class to understand the definition of the word clause. So as we said before, a phrase could be one word or a group of words that doesn't include a subject with its verb together. Today, my friend, a clause is a group of words also that includes a verb with its subject together. So to compare between the phrases and the clauses, we have to understand that always a phrase can contain either the subject or the verb, while the clause contains both of them together. In here, my friends, we have two types of clauses to be covered today. The first type is called main or independent clauses. The second type is called the dependent or subordinating clauses. So what are the differences between those two types of clauses? The first type, which is the independent clause, here has 5 main features. The first one is that those clauses are grammatically or semantically complete. In here, my friends, the word semantically refers to the completion of the meaning of the clause, which means that the clause here gives a full meaning. In here, my friends, an independent clause conveys a complete thought and gives a complete meaning. And here, my friend, it can stand alone as a simple sentence. And the last or fifth feature about the independent clause is that an independent clause begins with a noun phrase. And generally, as we said, a noun phrase could be one word or more that doesn't include a verb with its subject together. Generally, a noun phrase, which is the subject, includes an article, a or an or the, an adjective, as we all know, a noun, or even a pronoun. Allow me to give you here some examples. We have 2 main examples. The first one, I was sick yesterday. As you see, my friends, here, this clause is grammatically or semantically complete, and it conveys a complete or full meaning. It gives also a complete thought. And as you see here, my friend, it starts with a subject. And as you see, the second one, Sarah couldn't pass the exam. Also here, my friends, it starts or begins with a noun phrase, which is one word, and here can stand alone and give full meaning. While, my friends, dependent or subordinating clauses here grammatically or semantically incomplete, and they conveys incomplete thought and they give incomplete meanings, and generally they cannot stand alone as simple sentences. And generally, my friend, if we see as examiners, if we see a dependent clause with a full stop, we are going to consider it as a fragment, and fragment is one type of writing errors. Generally, my friends, begins with subordinating conjunctions. Here, as you see, we have the word because. Say, because I was sick yesterday, and although Sarah couldn't pass the exam. Again, my friends, allow me to compare those clauses together. The first one, I was sick yesterday. This gives me a full idea. It conveys complete thought. When someone tells me I was sick yesterday, he can stop. I can put here a full stop so that I consider it as a simple sentence. But here, my friends, if someone tells me because I was sick yesterday, so if this person or this speaker doesn't give me more information, I will still be waiting for him to continue or to finish his speech, because I was sick yesterday is incomplete. The listener here expects the speaker to carry on and to give extra, let's say, explanation for the situation. Here, if someone tells you, because I was sick yesterday, you say, yes, what happened because you were sick yesterday? He could tell you, for example, because I was sick yesterday, I couldn't come. Because I was sick yesterday, my mother didn't go to work. Because I was sick yesterday, for example, I didn't go to school. Because I was sick yesterday, I couldn't attend the class, and so on. Here, my friends, I say, Sarah couldn't pass the exam. Simply, this is a complete clause, independent, because it explains a full situation, gives a full meaning, and conveys a full message. Here, if a speaker told me Sarah couldn't pass the exam, I would understand the full message, and I wouldn't ask any for further explanation. But if a speaker told me this sentence, although Sarah couldn't pass the exam, I would stay listening and I will keep asking for more information. I would ask the speaker, okay, Sarah couldn't pass the exam, and you used although. So something happened. You say, although Sarah couldn't pass the exam, she was happy. Although Sarah couldn't pass the exam, she didn't feel sad. Although Sarah couldn't pass the exam, she promised to take the exam again. In here, my friends, although Sarah couldn't pass the exam was not enough to, in here, my friends, although Sarah couldn't pass the exam is not enough for me as a listener to understand a full situation. Now, my friends, allow me to explain a final example here. I say my best friend at school is British. Generally, my friends, this is an independent clause because it applies all of these conditions. The first one is that it is grammatically complete, or semantically, it has a subject, a verb, and a complement. Here, it conveys a complete thought and gives a complete meaning, and can stand alone as a simple sentence. And here, my friends, as you see, it begins with a noun phrase. This is the noun phrase from here to here, my best friend at school. And generally, my friends, if I put a full stop or a period here, I am going to have a simple sentence. While if I add a subordinating here, I say, for example, although. If I say, although my best friend at school is British, I should add a comma here, and I should give extra information so that I can clarify the situation. Otherwise, if I add a period here, if this is going to be a fragment. Why? Because it doesn't have full meaning and cannot stand alone as a simple sentence. In writing, my friends, especially in IELTS and TOEFL, task 2, when you write an essay, I can see that a lot of students make this mistake, which is vital to be understood. Here again, my friends, because the meaning is incomplete, this is going to be a fragment. But here, if you add a comma, for example, and you say, although my best friend at school is British, I talk to him in Arabic. So, although my best friend is British, yes, what happened? I talk to him in Arabic. Well, enough talking about the theoretical part of clauses, my friends, and now let's talk about the practical one. I have an exercise here. Write independent or dependent next to the following clauses. Let's start with the first one. Before I met her at the bus station 3 hours ago. This is dependent because, my friends, it starts with subordinating, number one. Number two, if someone says to you, before I met her at the bus station 3 hours ago, yes, what happened? In here, my friends, you cannot use a full stop or a period. You need to use a comma and give further information. You say, for example, before I met her at the bus station 3 hours ago, I was sleeping. So the meaning will be completed. I met her at the bus station 3 hours ago. This is independent again, because in here it starts with the subject, and I use a subject pronoun here and a full meaning, and I can use this full stop so that it's going to be a simple sentence. Again, my friends, the International Space Station is in the space. Okay, here this is independent. Again, my friends, because it starts with the subject, which is a noun phrase here. The International Space Station. Everything before the verb, as we talked before, is a noun phrase. Again, my friends, if we visited the International Space Station, again, my friends, here the meaning is incomplete. I need further information in order to understand the idea of this sentence. That's why this is dependent clause. Again, my friends, I hear, when Sarah called me, yes, when Sarah called, what happened? For example, when Sarah called me, I was eating. When Sarah called me, I was sleeping. That's why, as you see, my friends, the meaning of this clause is incomplete unless I use another main clause to clarify it. That's why I say this is a fragment or a dependent or a subordinating clause. The perseverant students are always successful. As you see here, my friends, this is a complete meaning clause, and we called it independent because I don't need to add any further information, so that it's going to be clean and it is clear by itself. I say my friends passed their exam last month, and also this is an independent clause. Whenever you tell the truth, for example, whenever you tell the truth, I will help you. I need here extra or further information. That's why I say this is dependent clause or subordinating clause, or I prefer to call it a fragment mistake, unless I use another independent clause with it. It's going to be incomplete, and I cannot use a period with it, and I cannot use it as a simple sentence. Here the national team lost the match. This is independent. I don't need to add any further information. It's clear by itself. I say to you, the national team yesterday lost the match. Here, my friends, the meaning is completed. Here, since nobody wants to come, yes. Since nobody wants to come, I will not come. Since nobody wants to come, we are going to call off the meeting. So here we have dependent clause. And that's it for the day, my friends. Before I say goodbye to you, I would like to mention that for independent clauses, one independent clause alone can make a simple sentence. Two or more independent clauses can make a compound sentence if they were linked appropriately together. And we are going to talk about this when we talk about sentences in the next class, in class 6. Again, my friends, thank you for watching this video. If you don't understand a point in this class, please try to replay this video again and try to play some Kahoot games which are going to be related to our topic today, clauses, and answer them. And if you have any questions, you can always get in touch with me using the phone number or the email given in this video. Thank you again, my friends, and good night.